Hi, this is Paul from Zumasys, and I wanted to ask you a question. What's the future of your PIC multi-value application? You've spent a lot of time thinking about it, as have we, and any discussion has to start with acknowledging that these apps are special and unique. PIC databases drive more value than just about any other technology you could have selected to run your business. If anything, COVID has underscored that reality for me, the reality that these apps are unrelenting in their evolution. I'm optimistic about the future of PIC, mostly because of you, the business leaders that continue to select this technology, and specifically the innovative ways you're using it during this pandemic that we've seen. Not just this year, not just this last decade, but decade after decade, you continue to rely on PIC to give you a competitive advantage. The reality is these apps are going to persist much longer than the developers who currently support them. And that creates a chronic need for us to create a succession plan for PIC apps. And that's the message I bring to you today. After studying this for a while, we've concluded that there's basically 4 things we need to do as a community to ensure that these apps are going to be able to be used 10 plus years into the future. First, we clearly need to get serious about training new developers on PIC. Now, there's definitely some bright spots. We've seen many of you use an interesting tactic, which is to go into the front lines of your organization, find the people that know your business, know your processes, know your customer, and they happen to have a technical aptitude. We've seen many of you go take that person, cross-train them with a PIC developer, and this youngster or this newcomer often becomes one of your most solid developers, and in fact, oftentimes the future leader of your department. And that's awesome. The problem is it doesn't scale. So one of the things we believe we need to all commit ourselves to is ongoing video education. We've started a series of 4 videos that are free. They're about 20 minutes long each at picmultivalue.com, and we encourage you to go check them out. They cover everything from TCL to PIC Basic. And you might be thinking this is not an effective medium to train new folks on PIC, but it's possible. We actually have developers in Zambia that are actively providing development services that use those videos to come up to speed on PIC. The second thing we think we need to do is teach our existing PIC developers, our more senior developers, we need to teach them about today's modern web languages. And that might sound a little counterintuitive, but the reality is people like Facebook and Google have taken their web languages, React and Angular and others, and they've made them open source, and they are adaptable to the PIC mindset. And we've proven it. We've taken PIC developers that have been doing character-based apps for 30 or 40 years, and they're now writing web-based interfaces, still calling that PIC logic using those tools. The third thing we need to do is embrace RESTful services. REST is the technology that allows us to create a new plumbing into your PIC system, for lack of a better term. The plumbing does 2 things. One is it enables those web connections to come in, call our valuable PIC logic, and return it through a browser. But the second thing it allows you to do is to integrate with standard APIs for today's modern apps. So, for example, if you don't like the financials in your PIC system, you can use an API to connect to NetSuite and federate to that application and use their best-of-breed financials. You can do the same thing for Salesforce, or if you're looking for a sales tax tool, you could do it with Avalara. You can connect to SendGrid for email. The world is your oyster in terms of API integration once you embrace RESTful services. Lastly, we think the thing we need to do is prepare these systems for what we call the DevOps revolution. DevOps is a mindset of younger developers, younger IT folks. They're coming into your environment, and when they see PIC, it often doesn't fit that criteria. So what we've been doing is doing integration with things like Docker and containers and changing the editors that we access PIC with to be things like VS Code from Microsoft. We're trying to meet these young developers where they're at and make PIC more attractive for them. They are our future. Of course, we all have products that we can shove down your throat that we perceive will be answers to these problems. But at Zumasys, we feel like that's part of the circular motion that's been wrong with this market in recent years. So we took a different tact. And I'm super excited to announce to you today the publishing of this document. It's the 4 ways to ensure your PIC system survives and thrives. It's a free resource guide that we've put a lot of energy into. We've taken kind of our best methods and we've put them down on paper. At Zumasys, we're not playing it safe. Since when does a PIC shop settle for the status quo? That's what's been going on in our market in recent years. The vendors in this space have not been giving us the resources, and Zumasys is committed to bucking that trend. However, it's going to require you to act. I want to highly encourage you to download this step-by-step resource guide at zumasys.com/4ways. All we're going to do is ask you for an email address. Then we're going to add you to a list of our webinar series that we're going to run all throughout 2021. It'll start with our popular MultiValue market update, but it will go into things like our web recipe on how to connect in through RESTful services, how to use containers, how to use this DevOps kind of framework to modernize your system. These are all free resources. We'll talk about case studies. We'll show you examples. We're going to give you the recipe because it's just that important. That's what I've got for you today. I hope you get some benefit out of this document, and I look forward to working with you in 2021. Thank you.